for me to really do anything about it. I mean, look, I'm going to go talk to them. You know, don't worry, I'm going to go talk to them.
In other words...
But they're not crying yet,
you know,
because you're not crying.
The thing is, when he's doing this, all right, he's telling the American people that I can make all this stop.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I can make all this pain stop.
Oh, man.
But you're going to have to get on the phones and call your Republican senators and do what I want.
Yeah. Tell them that they're going to have to work with me.
Which
means,
y'all don't do that.
Complete and total surrender.
You know, he's telling us that if we don't do that,
this is just going to get ugly.
It's just going to hurt.
Dude,
worse.
that was the whole first part of his speech, was telling everybody how ugly it's going to be. He wants the markets to crash so bad he can taste it. He's trying to help it along by, stirring up panic before it even gets there. Look, the 17th is still a few days away. They've done these, deals with 30 minutes to spare. Mm-hmm. And I think everybody knows that's what's going to happen anyway. But if the president can somehow inflict a little more pain by making the markets panic enough, to have a sizable enough hiccup in the Dow Jones so he can go, look, see, I told you. Oh, that'll be dandy with him, man.
I wonder if I could find some cheap stock to buy.
Just to watch it bounce.
Do it, because, hey, man, every trade is a trade. It's market activity. That's what drives the Dow.
Well,
dude,
it's just really.
I think everybody that's got $10 ought to go see if you can find a stock that you can get a share or two for $10 or $15.
Look, man, the AP was helping him out. The AP's throwing him softballs. Mr. President, how difficult is it working with the Republicans when they're refusing to negotiate with you? Is it true that you've said in the past you're willing to talk to the Republicans about anything? Why, yes, it is. I have offered to talk with the Republicans about everything. You've got to believe me when I'm telling you. But it's okay.
Let me be clear.
Yeah. Oh, he got out all smooth and silky. And then when he started getting into some gray areas of truth,
that's when he started stuttering. Now, look, I caught a little bit of the speech, and there was some stuttering going on.
Boy,
in
he
there.
Mel Tillis all over again.
If the Republicans, this is he is so terrible.
Oh, dude.
And
he can't. That's what is
when
making
it
it so
comes to,
danged insulting, because he can't hide this stuff no more. Everything is so easy to see through. He's got the transparency now. We see through your stupid behind
but
now.
Throw some questions at him where he doesn't have the teleprompter prepping him, and he really just falls apart. And he says some stuff that he might later wished he hadn't said, like that whole deal about, well, this ain't hurting y'all enough.
Oh, he's trying to shove that back in his mouth right now. But it's too late. We done heard you, man. Believe me, we heard you loud and clear, Mr. President.
Wait a minute. Did you have that little piece out of that clip?
What? That piece that I just played?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have the whole clip.
No, I mean, you have that little part on the end there where he tells us what his goal is.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just like to hear it one more time.
You want to hear that one more time?
Yeah,
okay.
just one more another again.
Okay, right, let's see here.
What you've seen are bills that come up wherever Republicans are feeling political pressure, they put a bill forward. And if there's no political heat, if there's no television story on it, then nothing happens.
Uh-huh.
He'd really like to take that back and say, what I meant to say was,
I can make all this stop. I mean, seriously, man.
Oh, yeah.
This is what...
But you know what? And you know what is so outrageous to me, though, man, is that he knows he's got a certain audience. He knows that there are progressives out there who are saying, thank you, Mr. President. You tell them. You tell them, Mr. President. I mean, look, just this week, the man's wading into the NFL because, He ain't got enough on his plate. There's not enough real problems in this country right now.
He's got to tell everybody how to run the NFL now.
He gotta get on the Washington Redskins and say, I ain't trying to put my nose in nobody's business, but if it was me and I owned the team, I'd think about changing the name. I mean, they're offending a good portion of the people. A good portion, one tribe out of Humpty Gazillion Indian tribes in this country, saying it hurt them feelings. Hey, man, all the Indian tribes around, I'm sorry. All the Native American Indian tribes around there in that little area, they're like, we don't really care. Hey, you want to come to the casino? I mean, they don't care. But the president gonna eat in there. He got to micromanage every facet of this country, and there's people out there eating this up with a spoon,
because they think this is okay. Let me put it this way:
the entire gay community thinks that the world is a much gay-friendlier place because Barack Obama is president, but he has done nothing. Nothing to help him.
I got to
the
say,
African American
look,
community
I got to
will
say,
cut your throat for speaking up against him in some places.
I got to speak against something you just said, though.
African American unemployment up higher than anybody's. What?
Look, there's some gay conservatives on Twitter who would differ. You said the entire gay community. There's some out there that ain't that stupid.
I'm very sorry. You know what? You're right, and that was stupid of me.
Yeah.
I do apologize.
Cause he hadn't got everybody fooled.
But he dang sure got 51%. He got 13 cities.
He's got 13 cities and a few little isolated blue communities trapped inside, landlocked in the sea of red.
These people love it when they throw things out there like calling us terrorists or legislative arsonists. They love
anarchists.
That holding the whole country hostage.
With a gun negotiating with a gun to your head.
Yeah. Accused the GOP of extortion today. He said, America we can't get by on extortion. We can't govern by extortion. Mr.
Well,
President,
then why
what are
you?
You doing then?
Yeah, why? If we can't do it that way, why are you trying so hard?
Every single thing that he accused the Republicans of doing today
is exactly what he's doing.
Exactly what he's doing. And he thinks that the American people as a whole are really stupid enough to believe that when the opposite is like glaring us in the face.
Yeah, the thing is,
I want to go through some of his lies. Can I go through some of his lies for a minute?
Boy, we're going to be... How long did you want to take to do the show tonight?
Look, I'm keeping it brief.
And by the way, how come the phone ain't ringing?
Because...
Let's wait. 256...
403... 1791. And while you're at it, I want you to defend some of this. This is really what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, tell us these ain't lies.
Tell me this ain't no lie. Now look, right now the president is saying that the Republicans are going to have to do what? Raise the debt ceiling.
The debt ceiling.
Now it is not only vital that they raise the debt limit. It is their duty. It's their job. It's Congress's number one
That's all
function.
they got to do.
If they want to stop being irresponsible, then they need to raise the debt ceiling. Ain't that what he's been saying all week?
Yes.
All right.
The problem is...
Wait. 2007.
2007.
Fargo, North Dakota. North Dakota.
He was candidate Obama.
Senator
Obama. Yeah.
The problem is that the way Bush has done it over the last 8 years is to take out a credit card from the Bank of China in the name of our children, driving up our national debt from $5 trillion for the first 42 presidents. Number 43 added $4 trillion by his lonesome, so that we now have over $9 trillion of debt that we are going to have to pay back. $30,000 for every man, woman, and child. That's irresponsible. It's unpatriotic.
So exactly what would you call it when the deficit is, or the national debt now? Our ceiling now is $16.9 trillion. Now, President Bush. Oh, now me and Casey was mad at him for doing it too.
Yes, we were.
But he was mad about little old bitty $4 trillion. Now, if we're all the way up to 16.9, that seems to me there's a $12.9 trillion difference there, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
And I just suppose, that is somehow George Bush's fault. And that it is Congress's only function to approve another $1 trillion because they've got to do their job and pay the bills, even though they've been trying to send bill after bill after bill to pay the bills. And, they keep trying to pay them one at a time so that we can see what they're doing.
Now, here's just a little wrinkle just to throw in
All right,
there.
throw a wrinkle in there.
Well, see, now you done messed me up.
All right, well, hang on. I want to let him explain it.
Okay, let him explain.
Because he also said when he became president in 2009, he also said that he was going to cut that in half.
See, that's what I was going to bring up.
We cannot and will not sustain deficits like these without end. Contrary to the prevailing wisdom in Washington these past few years, we cannot simply spend as we please and defer the consequences to the next budget, the next administration, or the next generation. We are paying the price for these deficits right now. In 2008 alone, we paid $250 billion in interest on our debt, 1 in every 10 taxpayer dollars. That is more than 3 times what we spent on education that year, more than 7 times what we spent on VA health care. So if we confront this crisis without also confronting the deficits that help cause it, we risk sinking into another crisis down the road as our interest payments rise, our obligations come due, confidence in our economy erodes, and our children and our grandchildren are unable to pursue their dreams because they're saddled with our debts. And that's why today I'm pledging to cut the deficit we inherited by half by the end of my first term in office.
I would love it if he could just cut $2 trillion. Wouldn't that be cool? Just $2 trillion?
Just $2 trillion would suit me.
But he's wanting to increase it. I mean, what he wants is Congress to remove.
Didn't that sound good?
Oh, it did. It did. It sounded real good. He was smooth when he said that.
I'm gonna get this out of control spending under control.
I pledge. Listen to this last part now. This is where it gets good.
Confidence in our economy erodes, and our children and our grandchildren are unable to pursue their dreams because they're saddled with our debts.
All right, say it, Barry.
That's why today I'm pledging to cut the deficit.
Look, hear that part one more time, because I think that's really important that you hear this first part.
It's a cut.
And that's why today I'm pledging to...
See that?
And that's why today I'm pledging to cut the...
He pledged, in other words, he promised that he was going to cut the deficit that he inherited, which he just said he had inherited an additional $4 trillion, right?
Wait. Here's the thing. Does he know what pledge means?
I don't think it means what he thinks it means.
Because if I call up, say, the American Cancer Society, and I say I'm pledging y'all $20, they take it that I'm going to actually send them $20 because I pledged that I would do so.
Right.
That's what I thought pledge meant, and that's apparently what every charitable organization that I've ever heard of. They say when you pledge the money, you're promising that you're going to give it to them.
That's what pledging means. But again, and I can't say this enough.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
See, I can't say it better than Inigo. Man.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't do better than Inigo. And that was cool that you had that all pulled up like that. I saw what you did. That was slick.
That was slick. I was trying. But I can't stop there because there's so much more that I need explained to me, particularly when we're talking about debt. Because look, let's go to 2010. He wasn't through, man.
I'm sympathetic to folks who looked at it and said this is looking like potential overreach. You know, in addition, there are a bunch of price tags that went with that. And so even though